Hi guys. Okay, this is a little mini unit on adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators using the LCD. So we're not going to use any old common denominator. We're going to find the lowest common denominator. So when you notice that your fraction doesn't have the same denominators, you're saying to yourself, well, I know I could just multiply 20 times 8 and get a common denominator, but that's too big. We're going to look for the lowest common denominator to use. And the way that we're going to find it is finding the LCM, least common multiple of our denominators. So we have 20 and we have 8. I'm going to use the prime factorization to find the LCM. So I'm going to start and say, 20 is 5 times 4. 5's prime, but 4 is not. So here's my first LCM piece. This is the prime factorization of 20. And then 8 is just 2 times 2 times 2. Now, I'm not sure how you were taught to do the LCM work, but this is the way I teach my 7th graders. Once I have the prime factorization of all my denominators, then I write every base I see in my answer. So I see a 2, and I'm only going to write the 2 one time. Although it's in both bases, I'm only writing it once. And I see a 5. And then I go back and I put the highest exponent that I see. So I see a 2, squared exponent, and a cubed exponent. I'm going to put the cubed exponent. And now I'm going to multiply this out. 8 times 5 is 40. And that's my lowest common denominator for these guys. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to create my new fractions that are going to have a denominator of 40. 20 goes into 40 twice. So 7 times 2 is 14. So I ask myself, what times 20 is 40? 2. And I have to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. 8 times 5 is 40. So 3 times 5 is 15. Now I can write this as a single fraction bar because my denominators are the same. I can say this is 14 minus 15, which is the same as negative 1 over 40. That's the answer to number 1. Let me do one more, and then I'm going to turn you guys loose on your own to do the rest of the sheet. 9 and 15, I'm going to erase this. 9 and 15, I need a LCM. So 9, prime factorization is 3 squared. 15 is 3 times 5. Again, my LCM is going to be any base I see, written only one time, to the highest exponent. So 9 times 5 is 45. My lowest common denominator between 9 and 15 is 45. So what times 9 gives me 45? 5. So I have to multiply this 5 by another 5 and get 25. 15 times 3 is 45, so 13 times 3 is 39. Single fraction bar. 25 minus 39, I'm going to have a negative number over here when I get this all cleaned up, and it's going to be negative 14 over 45. And I don't think there are any common factors. I don't think I can reduce this down any further, so that's going to be my answer. One more. I see a double sign here. I don't like double signs. I'm going to immediately make it a plus. And now I'm going to look at 10 and 14, and I'm going to find the LCM. So 10 is 2 times 5. That's his prime factorization. And 14 is 2 times 7. Those are both prime numbers. I'm going to take every base I see, a 2, a 5, and a 7, and the only exponents I see here are to the first power, so I don't even have to add any exponents. When I multiply out, I get 10 times 7, which is 70. So I'm going to go over here and put my 70s in and figure out what the new numerators have to be. 14 times 5 is 70, so 5 times 5 is 25. 10 times 7, so 9 times 7. Single fraction bar. Minus 25 plus 63. So I've got to clean up this numerator. It's going to be positive, and it's going to be 38. So it's going to be 38 over 70. Now, I notice that these are both even numbers, so I know I'm not finished. This is not simplified. 38 is 2 times 19, and 70 is 2 times 35. So the 2's will cancel because anything divided by itself is 1, and your final answer is going to be 19 over 35. Okay, thanks for listening. Your job now is to complete this worksheet. There are 3 more problems for you. I erased number 1, but we did that one together. So you work the 3 problems and then come check in with me. I want to see the work on 1, 2, and 3 from this video, and then 4, 5, and 6 on your own. Thanks for listening.